Right, we're going to talk about Don't Breathe next, new horror film. We're going to play a clip. Joe, we're going to set you, because you've not seen the film, we're going to set you the task to see if you can not breathe for the duration of this clip. And when we get back...
How long is the clip?
It's about 40 seconds, I believe.
That's a reasonable amount.
I'll do it.
You can do
Okay,
that.
we'll play it twice then. No, right. we'll see if you can do it. Right, this is a clip from Don't Breathe.
At least 4 blocks around, houses aren't occupied. No people means no 501 patrol. It's gonna be a piece of cake. The guy that shot in hasn't left his house in like 5 days. I say we do it with him in the house. I'll get a chloro bomb. Yeah, that's our guy.
Wait, is he blind?
He's lost his sight in Iraq or something.
That's kind of messed up to have a blind guy, isn't it?
Just because he's blind don't mean he's insane, bro. We do this tonight.
That's a clip from Don't Breathe. Joe, you can breathe out now. Very good effort. It's a shame it wasn't a longer clip. It was only 30 seconds, but I reckon you probably will.
Imagine if it was a trailer, like 2 minutes. You reckon you could do that?
Oh, I don't know.
We'll wait for Don't Breathe.
Challenge accepted.
Bit more practice. I've got good lung capacity.
Yes, very good.
Oh, there you go.
Right then, this is Don't Breathe.
Yes, it is Don't Breathe. So Don't Breathe is directed by Fede Alvarez, who did the Evil Dead remake, and I have not seen that, but it's meant to be alright. It's not meant to have the spirit of the originals, but...
I mean, like Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 is so good.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Okay,
being okay is not exactly what you want. Yeah, so basically Don't Breathe has a trio of thieves who are down on their luck. The main one is played by Jane Levy, and she plays Rocky, and basically she wants to take her sister away from their abusive mother and stepfather, who basically, and she wants to go across the state to California, where her sister wants to ride on the waves, and basically she wants to give her sister a better life. So they break into this man's house. He's a blind man. He's a veteran played by Stephen Lang, and basically he's only referred to as the blind man, just so you know, he is blind. He's a veteran who got a substantial sum of money. I think it was like $300,000 in a court case where his daughter died in a car crash with a woman who was inebriated in the car, and basically they break into the house, and he's not the frail old man that they would have expected, is he? He's a bit more sinister. Now, I want to tread as lightly on eggshells as I can with this film, because I was spoiled beforehand.
Yes.
And I knew what was coming. But it didn't take away from the power. But there is very much something in the third act that tips the scales.
It takes it in a different territory.
Yeah, and stay away from it. Read as little as you can about this, because it is...
I think I'd even go as far as saying when the BBFC card comes up, don't look at that.
Yeah, don't look at that, yeah.
Because it does give the game away.
Uh-huh.
I spent the whole film waiting for it to happen because of what it said. That's a real bad thing, the BBFC that do that now.
I think even knowing that, it still makes it... Like, it doesn't take away from how bad it is, because it is a truly horrific thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a really well-crafted horror film, and I think it's just a strong year for horror, isn't it? I mean, The Conjuring, Lights Out, this... It's been a strong couple of years if you go back to It Follows and The Babadook, and it's been a really great resurgence for horror films, I think, and I think it's just very, very intense from start to finish. I think it's efficient. If I have to give it, it's a ruthlessly efficient movie. I think the time that you are spent in that cinema watching this, you don't know what to do with yourself. I don't know about you, but I was sat there, I didn't know whether to actually stop breathing or not every time that the man went past, because as they are stuck in this one location, the blind man has got extreme spatial awareness. As you know, when you go blind, your other senses are sort of heightened, and basically they play on that really well, and I think that gives the blind man a lot of terror into his character, because you're constantly wondering like what's going to happen and where he comes from. None of the jump scares are cheap, because they're all well earned, because the jump scares actually happen. There's no fake outs like that or anything like that. But yeah, it's so amazingly well crafted. And I was constantly trying to hold my breath at points, because it was, and you had to get a drink afterwards, didn't you?
Well, we saw it on Friday, and there's so much interest about it. I think it's really tense. I think it's tense for so many. It crafts out so well. I think the minimal soundtrack plays a big part in that. It's not too over the top. I think
but it is there.
It's
and
there.
Works.
You can feel it, and I think subconsciously there as well. Like you kind of get stuck in the film. You notice it less, but it just adds to the sense of dread. I think the performances are good. I think it works because you can root for Rocky, even if the other guy.
Rocky.
Yeah, I was going to say Adrian. The guy, her boyfriend, is kind of not very likable, and I mean, that's the thing. I was describing this to somebody before, and I was saying, like, it's 3 robbers, and are you supposed to feel sorry for them? I suppose you kind of are. I think
I've had the
Rocky is kind of certainly more relatable and more kind of empathetic than the other 2 possibly are. But I think what I like most about the film is that it had me on the edge of my seat, and there's been so many horrors. I know you said it's been a good year. I didn't like Lights Out. I thought it was quite cheap, and it makes this look so
Fair
much
enough.
better. I thought it was really cheap.
But you need to see The Conjuring.
I'll see
Really
it, but again, I've heard that's not brilliant. I think it's logical. I think it takes logical steps. It's a straightforward horror film. You know, like The Babadook and It Follows are both very good, but they're kind of more, you know, like
Complex and
against.
thoughtful.
Well, no, it's just they're against. They're not really standard horror films.
Yeah.
There's a bit of subversion about them. This is just straightforward horror, and the first two acts are so tense. It was like Victoria. I was sweating buckets, and I had to get a drink. I was gasping for a drink because I was gasping for breath so much.
Yeah.
The final act takes it down a very different turn. After two acts have been very logical of everything, kind of, they didn't seem like anything that was a leap of faith. I was very impressed by the fact that there was nothing that felt too unreal until that third act, when it kind of gets a bit silly, but it works because it is so depraved and so gruesome and horrible that it doesn't matter as such that it's totally different to the rest of the film. It's just something else. It's very shocking. I think not in a controversial, like, you will find this shocking way. You get a shock when it happens.
There has been a hell of a lot of backlash towards this whole part, like seeing that horror tropes rely too much on this, and I think I've said too much already. But the fact that also the fact that some people are saying that having Stephen Lang be just called the blind man, while all of the other characters have actual names, is sort of making blind people the other, and sort of being a bit ableist. But I mean, I guess it's just a horror movie. It's just a horror movie.
There'd be no reason to know his name anyway. They wouldn't say, "Oh, what's your name?" "Oh, yeah, my name's Pete. I'm going to kill you."
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't know his name.
My name's Pete Stab.
He's a stranger.
Exactly.
So he's a stranger to us as well.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it works. I was very impressed. I was very impressed by this film.
I think the way it tricks your senses visually and auditorially is excellent.
You know what I think it is? I think it's because it's not far fetched, both in its execution and its circumstance. Like, burglary is a thing that can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
I think it's. I've known people who've been burgled, and it just sounds horrible. I'd hate that to happen to me. So for this to be in the film, it put me on edge.
Yeah.
I think for that reason, as well as the fact that it is really good. So that's Don't Breathe. Recommend.
Absolutely, go and see it because it gives you the sweats.
It does.
It really does.
You'll lose
It's
a few
very
stone.
intense.
I feel like a changed man after that. I was drained. Right. We'll